Hey my good friends, Sam Haymart for TestDrivenTV. It's that magical time of the year where I go down the list of the near 100 cars I tested this year and I tell you which ones I'd spend my own money on. This is the 2017 I'd Buy It list. Coming right up. The cheeky Kia Soul has been on our I'd Buy It list on 2 years past in different models. Now this year joined by a quick and sporting turbocharged model. I love the Kia Soul for its combination of fun styling character, button-down handling, and powertrain options from frugal to fooling around. It's a well-built, comfortable car that's also very practical in that it's got a storage and functionality of a small SUV. Its pricing from the base model to the top-end Kia Soul EV is value-packed regardless of which model you choose. Fun fact, I almost came very close to buying a brand new Kia Soul this year, a base model, because I needed a vehicle for my company and I wanted something that was going to last, be built well, and somewhat fun to drive in those off times when I don't have a press car. True story. The next vehicle on the list, of course, is a Volkswagen. Should surprise nobody here who watches my videos because I do wear my VW love on my sleeve. Adding the Volkswagen Atlas to the I'd Buy It list was a surprise to many, however, as it's arguably not the strongest competitor in its field of large three-row crossover SUVs, especially when it comes to spreadsheet comparisons like horsepower and towing. What really turned me on about the Atlas was the big picture. It's a large three-row family sleigh that's comfortable, well-built, and has a character nothing else in class offers up. It's got that German feel in its handling with precise chassis feel that I just love in any car. So if I were buying one of these three-row crossover things, it would definitely be the Atlas. Also raising eyebrows this year was the addition of the Toyota CHR. It's not fast, it isn't the best value in the class, and it has a continuously variable transmission, something I normally hate. The infotainment system is also 10 years ago. It has little cargo capacity, and it's a crossover that's not available with all-wheel drive. All reasons not to buy it. But look at it. I just love the character of the CHR. It's got styling that just doesn't give a f what anyone says. And that compensates for a lot of its aforementioned deficiencies. Add in the fact that it's quite comfortable and enjoyable to use as a daily driver and live with every day. And it's priced pretty reasonably too. See, it just goes to prove that buying a vehicle isn't always a rational decision. I mean, this is a vehicle that I liked, even though it has everything wrong with it out there when you compare vehicles on Consumer Reports. It turned me on. It makes me smile. The next vehicle on the list, also a Toyota, is a vehicle that turns me on for a lot of good reasons as well. I love the Toyota 4Runner for a lot of good reasons, one of which is that it remains the last of a kind. Truck frame-based SUVs are a rare commodity today, and this one itself is a gem. Yes, it's old, it's heavy, and it's clunky, but it'll do anything you ask of it, and it looks pretty damn buff when you outfit it with the right tires and wheels, a few racks, and a snorkel intake. Compare to Jeep Wrangler if you dare, but those are fighting words in most bull rings. Returning to the I'd Buy It list is the Honda Civic Si, now in its 8th generation and now turbocharged. Though it lost its high-revving, naturally aspirated engine that so many loved, it gained a new drivability in real-world living with mid-range power and gobs of torque that no longer require 7,000 RPM workouts to enjoy. Handling and backwards driving fun is every bit as good, if not better than before. The interior just as enjoyable a place to spend time on long days behind the wheel. And yes, the genuine aluminum shift handle will still burn your palm on a hot day. Nice! While the Volkswagen Atlas makes the choice for large three-row crossovers, the Kia Sorento is really more of a mid-sizer in my opinion. That said, I love its well put-together interior that has a far more premium feel and a collection of features than most of its competitors. Its powertrain in the 3.3-liter V6 is a good combination of powerful and refined, and now in 28 is even better with a new 8-speed automatic transmission. Driven off-road, it feels tight and solid, never losing its edge even in the rough. A nice all-around package no matter which trim grade you get. Now I have to admit sentimental feelings might have had something to do with the addition of the 2017 Volkswagen GTI to my I'd Buy It list. It could very well be the fact that my very first new car was a 1984 Volkswagen GTI, which I spent many miles ripping and shredding on the very same roads 30 years ago as I did in this year's testing of the new one. 30 years later, it's over twice as powerful, 3 times the price, and nearly twice as heavy as the one I fell in love with, but it has all the same goodness and all the visceral connection. Still available with cloth sport seats and the base S trim, this will always be my baby, no matter how many check engine lights I have to deal with as it grows up. Moving on, the Nissan Titan XD Cummins returns again to the I'd Buy It list as the sole full-size pickup truck I'd buy, period. While I'm all about American brands, Nissan just does it better with a down-to-business purposefulness the others have lost in the craze of style and brand identity. Nissan still builds a plain wrapper truck that's solid feeling and durable even when thrown into the rough. Optioned out in top-end trims like the Pro 4X, it only gets better from there. I specifically love the 5-liter Cummins V8 as a powertrain option with its just right size and power for this class. As I said in the original test drive for the Nissan Pro 4X, I love this color, I love this trim grade. If I were buying it, this is the one I'd get. And that test drive is linked down below along with all the other test drives that we're referencing here today. Next on the list is a car that, very much like the Volkswagen GTI, is fun to drive. It has all that German character, but this one, a little bit more grown up and mature. The A4 sedan is also a perennial in its arena, a stalwart offering that just keeps getting better with age and each evolution. The current Audi A4 is for all intents in the same size and power range as the first Audi A8 sedan, even with its base 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Though more power can be had here, I like the fact that you can still option this bad boy with a manual transmission, and this may be the last Audi for a while that still has genuine exhaust tips instead of the fake ones the latest Audis are getting. This year's big surprise for me was the Ford Focus RS, which won me over with its badass, kick the shit out of you driving performance and visual character. I mean, just look at the damn thing and try to hate it. If you do, you might need to drive it some more. With 350 horsepower to all 4 wheels that'll snap your neck time and again, a racetrack stiff suspension that'll break your back with each tar strip and pothole, you have a car that you'll know you've been driving in the morning. It's kind of like that night of the best sex you ever had and had to spend the next day recovering from it, yet you'd do it again in a heartbeat. Alright, that might have been a little TMI. What can I say? This car really pushed my buttons. It's that simple. Now, that is it for our TestDrivenTV I'd Buy It list for 2017. These are all cars I loved enough and I do like enough for their own reasons that I'd buy with my own money. Just goes to prove that Consumer Reports doesn't always make a car a good buy. Sometimes you just gotta love the damn thing. Anyway, if you're still watching this video, that tells me that you're one of my regular viewers or you just really enjoyed what you saw. Either way, that brings to the thing that I do once a year, which is I ask for your support. This is my full-time job. I love doing this. And I always invite my viewers, my longtime fans, to give us a little tip for the year, maybe a little bit of a donation that helps us start the next year off good. You can do that by clicking a link down below in the information section or on our website, TestDriven.tv, over in the right-hand bar. There's a donate button, always has been. You can use PayPal or credit cards. You don't have to, it's always free. You can always just watch the ads here on the videos, and that's what pays the light bills. And in that way, hit the button right there, subscribe to our YouTube channel at the very least, and it will keep you informed on everything we do. Either way, stay tuned.